You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
It's the season for picking. You can pick your friends. You can pick your nose. But you can't pick your friend's nose unless you're Ransom, because I have no problem picking my beef's nose. That's neither here nor there. TMI, maybe. But you should probably already know that about us by now. Anywho, it's pick season, and we're going to do some picking. We're picking AEW Revolution. And that is happening now. Ransom, the Madman, is here today. Also joined by Tiger Bomb Tom. Beef, the Robo Legend, is here. And also, Poot, the Bandwidth Bard, is now in the house with us. We're going to do AEW Revolution picks. We're going to allow our Robo Scribe Beef to spearhead this endeavor. Hopefully he's able to do so. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe if we have enough time, maybe we'll even have a Stump the Chumps at the end of this. Champs! Excuse me. Champs at the end of this episode. But, stick around, snuggle in, cuddle up, and we'll see where the night takes us, right? P3 and chill, baby. Let's do it.
I'm in a mood, and you fans will find out why I'm in a mood. The next episode.
Is it because you're the Poot the Bard now, Beef?
How's that? I'll server mute your dumbass. I don't fucking care. You fans will be able to hear on the next session why I am so angry and full of vitriol tonight.
I'll hear it in this one too.
Shut the fuck up, Ransom. Swear to fucking God. All right, so we are doing Chooseweight title time. The incumbent champion right now is fucking Dave. Allegedly.
Listen to how excited he is. He's so upset.
I'm just so...
The current incumbent champion is fucking Dave. Allegedly.
I know it's going to happen again.
Don't put that out there. Don't manifest that negative energy, Beef. You gotta manifest your destiny and fucking push forward. Do it.
That's right.
Manifest
if you believe it, it will happen.
Wear Beef and just tear shit up all over Freeport. Anyway,
if we're gonna be real here, if you manifest into a werebeef, the only thing you're gonna tear up is your fridge and then take a nap.
Maybe.
It's not a werebeef. It's not a werebeef. It's when you go beef. Where?
It's grizzly beef. He just gets real hungry and then real sleepy.
That's accurate. All right, so here's what we're fucking doing. Listen up, chumps. This is how it's going.
Listen to him. He's so upset.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
We are doing a March Mega Pack card. I don't fucking know what you want to call it. It's going to be Revolution. It's going to be NXT Stand and Deliver. And it's going to be WrestleMania both nights. Plenty of opportunities to fuck up and suck your own dick. So don't fuck up and suck your own dick. We are going to.
This is a salty fucking beef, dude. You're saltier than the steak I made earlier. Jesus fucking Christ!
Salty beef is the best beef. Come on, this is great.
You hate salty. The only reason you put fucking salt on a steak is if you've ruined it. Do you know how to cook a steak?
You are grossly wrong, man. You pan fry that subbitch with some Kerrygold butter. You put some salt and pepper on it and just make it basic, bitch.
Isn't Gordon Ramsay's cooking hour? Shut the hell up and let's do picks.
All right, so we have 11 matches for Revolution, which means we have 11 points. You know the drill, but I'll fucking say it because
11.
I
Holy
have
crap.
to say things multiple times to be heard, understood. Especially when my fucking internet is being angry with me. Anyway.
He's the boot now.
So 11 points. Use each point only once. You know the drill. Yeah, so Revolution, here we go, baby. Here, I'm going to run down the matches real quick, and then we'll do it like match by match here. So we have, on the pre-show, Hook versus QT Marshall, and Chris Statlander versus legit Layla Hirsch. Main card, Jade Cargill defending the TBS title against Tay Conti. AFO, which is Andrade, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting. Jurassic Express defending their tag team titles against Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. In a Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT Championship, we have Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks versus Wardlow versus Christian Cage or Ethan Page to be decided tomorrow night, as well as Dr. Britt Baker D. MD, defending her women's title against Thunder Rosa, CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match, and Hangman Adam Page defending his world title against Adam Cole Bay. 11 matches, there they are, here we go. Hook versus QT Marshall on the pre-show. Who wants to start? We don't have a fucking champion this week, this month, this year, so we can't start with the champion.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Why don't you start before you robo out before I'll start?
Well, we do have a champion, and it's Dave, allegedly.
Here's how we're going to do it. I'm making an executive I'm making an executive decision. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it how we're listed in the Discord. So the order will be beef.
Nope. I'm the scribe. Beef. Nope, I'm the scribe, and I'm going to tell you how we're going to do it, because if I start, then Poot follows, then you, then Dad.
No, it's Beef, then Tom, then Poot, then Ransom. That's how it's listed off in the Discord.
You can scribe it. Then you can scribe it, because I have a system in place that I always do.
Then let Beef handle it. Let Beef handle it. It's all good. Let Beef handle it.
Just go, you
all right,
whiny
so
baby.
I'll start. I will start, and I am going to start. You finished?
Sorry, go ahead. Yes, mofo, I'm finished.
Oh, don't even go there. We're going to start with Hook versus QT Marshall on the pre-show. I am picking Hook because there is zero reason why he needs to lose right now. They are, he's a very hot commodity, and I think that they're going to continue his slow but steady push and give him a win on pay-per-view, even though it's not technically pay-per-view at that point, but whatever, semantics. And I'm putting 10 points on it. Poot, who you got?
Myself, I am going to go with Hook as well. I am going to go with 9 on Hook. Because Hook, where's the hook, man? I'll tell you what. Again with Beef, there's no reason to expound on it. Hook does not need to lose. In fact, he needs to beat the absolute fucking shit out of QT Marshall.
I'm really excited for it. I like Hook a lot in the ring. He wrestles like his dad, and he's 200 pounds lighter than him. So yeah, he's fantastic. Ransom, Hook versus QT Marshall. Who you got?
Hook or Cook? Hook with 8 points, because I don't fucking know why.
Tom?
Hook for 9.
That's the wrong place. Hook for 9. Got it. We are hookers tonight. Chris Statlander versus legit Layla Hirsch. Poot?
On this one, I'm going to go with Statlander for 4.
Rant.
I say Statlander for 5.
Tom.
Statlander for 8.
Damn. You know what? Why not? Fortune favors the bold. I'm gonna go legit Layla Hirsch for 3 points. I think that she needs the win. I think with this recent heel turn, if they're going to make her a dominant competitor, which I think that they're aiming for, I think that she starts with that path of destruction on Revolution. It was a toss-up, but you guys all picking Statlander made my decision a lot easier. So I'm picking Layla Hirsch, but I'm only putting 3 points on it. Moving right along to the main card. We have Jade Cargill, the current TBS champion, defending against Tay Conti. Ransom.
I'm going to say Jade for 6.
Tom.
Jade for 10.
Wow.
I am picking Jade for 11. Poop.
Wow.
Oh, wait. I forgot there were 11 matches. Yeah, sorry. Can you put me down for 11?
Sure can.
I'm sorry, it's Jade Cargill versus
Tay Conti.
Tay Conti.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go weird with it. I'm gonna go Tay Conti for 1.
Now,
Weird yet cautious.
Now here's the thing, Poot. I just want to throw this out. Last month you got weird with it at the beginning of the month, and it didn't pan out. And then
I know, but also I get weird with it with higher numbers normally.
All right.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Tay Conti. It's only for 1.
Fair enough. I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just
listen. With having to maintain the Pootatorium now, I have a lot more time on my hands for things like Elden Ring and watching wrestling. So just trust the process.
Okay.
Elden Ring
for it.
All right. So AHFO, which is the dumbest fucking name for a fucking stable in the world, the Andrade Hardy Family Order fucking functional society.
Wow, that's so dumb.
Yeah, like Andrade basically bought the HFO and added his name at the beginning, and I'm like, what? Okay, whatever, man. It doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter. Matt Hardy, Andrade, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Darby, Sting, and the current TNT champion, Sammy Guevara. Tom, who you got?
We'll go with Team Guevara for 7.
I am also going face team for 7. Poot.
I'm gonna go team face for 6. I'm gonna go team Darby.
Team face 7 points.
A very samey pick. I like it.
Yeah,
the
baby.
Tag team title match. Jurassic Express defending against the Dragon, which is Kyle O'Reilly, easy for me to say, and Bobby Fish versus Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks. And I'll point out that Revolution typically has some of the best tag team wrestling of the year. I expect that this match will be no exception. My only lament is that Jurassic Express is part of the match. I love Jungle Boy and I love Luchasaurus, but I wish it were fucking Red Dragon versus Young Bucks. All that being said, I think we'll get there. So I'm going out on a limb, and I'm gonna pick Red Dragon for 2 points. It's probably against my better judgment, but I just really want them to be fucking draped in gold, baby. So yes, Red Dragon for 2 points. Poots!
I'm actually going to go a little bit further. I'm going to say Red Dragon for 3 points, buddy. I just think that it would make a lot of sense for a little bit of mix-up right now. I think that Jurassic Express holding those belts for the interim has been good. I think it's been solid for them. I like them kind of doing this thing over the past couple of weeks where they're sitting atop sitting in their tower watching the other divisions go at it. The Bucks don't need it. Jurassic Express at this point I think needs to move on, and I think Red Dragon, even though they have more than enough legitimacy in the grand scheme of the wrestling world, I think they could really use this in AEW. So I'm going to go with Red Dragon for 3.
I like all that reasoning. Ransom.
Red Dragon for 4.
Tom?
So catch me up to speed a little bit. I thought that Cole and Red Dragon part of a faction or ish. Okay, but Cole is still mucking around with the Young Bucks, or no?
The Elite is kind of nebulous at this point. Maybe Kenny Omega's still around. Maybe Red Dragon's part of it. No one's really sure what's going on. Who knows where the OGs are?
Okay.
All we know for sure is that Tama Tonga is no longer a part of Bullet Club, which is neither here nor there for the Elite. But yeah, so things are kind of weird right now with that whole thing. But yes, Cole and Red Dragon have been palling around as of late.
Okay. Fuck it. Clean sweep across the board. Red Dragon. I'm gonna put 5 on it.
Do it.
You know,
Oh, look at that. 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you know?
I really thought that this would be like my go out on a limb pick. I really thought that would be like everybody else picked the incumbents. And all right, no biggie. I don't mind. Jan Moxley versus Brian. Oh my damn voice. Brian Danielson. No frills, no goofy gimmick, just a wrestling match. Poop, talk to me. Who you got?
Oh boy, I don't know if this is going to set a precedent or I'm going to get made fun of. I'm going to go with Jon Moxley for 8. Because I think what will happen is he will beat the ever-loving fuck out of Brian Danielson. And Danielson at the end of it will be in a heap, but he will pull himself up. Moxley will shake his hand, and then we will get the power couple that we desperately want.
Ransom?
I don't know. I'm going to say Brian Danielson. And I'm going to go with a 2 on this one.
2 for. Any reason why you're feeling Danielson?
He's lost a few high-profile matches, hasn't he?
Just the one against Hangman, I think.
Okay.
And he had a time limit draw against Page as well. But I think that's his only loss so far in AEW.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Jon Moxley is one of those guys where he could do a win, a loss, it doesn't matter because he's insane and goofy and he's just freaking Jon Moxley. But I feel like Brian Danielson is a quality and a caliber all of his own, and I feel like a nice. Okay, bless you.
Thanks.
I feel like a nice, clean, healthy win on a nice, big, fat AEW pay-per-view would be a good feel. And I don't know if AEW really gives a crap about the good feels or not, but that's what I'm feeling.
Tom, what are you feeling?
Has Jon Moxley had how's his return been since now he's been back? Has he been pretty much on a big upswing, or?
I mean, he's had a few matches.
Which I'm sure he's won all of them.
Yeah. With his, and I don't want to use the term bloated, but with as full as the AEW roster is right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of these guys aren't wrestling as much, but they're just doing a lot of promo work, which is fine. I don't mind seeing Danielson wrestling constantly. That's pretty great actually. So yeah, he was Punk's mystery partner a couple a month or so back.
Okay.
And I think he had a singles match too that he just wrecked shop. So yeah, he's been doing okay.
So here's my thing. Part of me wants to go with Danielson, but I'm gonna get super weird. I'm gonna say this goes to a time limit draw, and I'm gonna put 4 points on it.
Look at this, man. Using established AEW tactics against us. I like it, man. I like it. I'm going Moxley here. Danielson is in this weird nebulous face heel type place where he's telling the truth, and he's wrestling doesn't need more Orange Cassidys and Danhausens. Wrestling needs more Moxleys and Danielsons and us to tutor the future, and I'm here for that. Honestly, I'm super here for that. But I just feel, especially since it's Moxley's return to pay-per-view, I feel like he'll get the dub here, and I'm putting a 5 spot on him doing so. Jericho versus Eddie Kingston this match is probably shoved in too hard, but that's okay. We're here for it. Again, good promo work by both men leading up to it.
Look at this fucking guy throwing bones over here.
I get it. Everyone needs a payday. I get it. Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston are your top guys, but I mean, like, I think that there's a little bit of fat on this card that could have been trimmed, and I think that this is one of those matches that I think could have been left on the cutting room floor, or on the Rampage, or Dynamite preceding, or following it.
Or in the Matrix, where Beef is currently at.
Beef, steady beef.
So
Steady beef. Steady beef.
Kingston versus Jericho. Ransom, who you got?
I don't freaking know. I don't freaking know. I can't remember what points I've used. Have I used my 3-pointer?
No.
I'm gonna say Eddie Kingston for a 3 spot.
Good pick. Tom?
I'm gonna pick Kingston, and I'm gonna put my 10 on it because.
Damn.
Yeah, just because.
Fuck a luck a ding dong. Kingston 4. Poot.
Oh, wow. You know, Tom kind of stole my thunder here. Kingston for 10. It just makes sense.
Woo!
It just
Good
makes
Lord.
sense. It just makes sense. Like, I mean, I think Kingston in the match is really going to earn his stripes in the sense of like people who know him and people who watch AEW. But I really, 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 really think that Kingston is like, he's going to get that win by the skin of his teeth. I really do. Like, but he's going to get it. So I'm putting my 10 on it. It only makes sense. And Jericho seems like the type to want to put someone over who's been scraping and clawing and fighting for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT title match. Keith Lee versus Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ricky Starks versus Wardlow versus Christian Cage or Ethan Page. Tom?
I don't know how we can actually, honestly, in good conscience, pick this if we don't know it's Christian Cage or Ethan Page coming into the match.
Simple. I don't think either of them are going to win.
Agreed.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with... I'm just looking at this. All right, fuck it. I'm going to go with Wardlow for 1.
Motherfucker.
Ooh.
Same. Wardlow 1. Poot?
Does it make you mad just because I haven't been watching it and I'm picking the same as you, or just
get this? I'm gonna go, boys. I'm gonna go bigger. I'm going Wardlow for 7.
Yeah,
boys. Wardlow for 7 because Wardlow, like it again. It in the sense of things. Not saying that AEW is predictable, but I'm just saying it only makes sense. And AEW, for the most part, has done a lot of things that are for sense. Like, they make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ransom.
I was going to go with Wardlow, but I'm going to say screw it. And this is my time to get weird. I'm going to go with Keith Lee for 10.
Damn. I was honestly like having it down to either Powerhouse Hobbs or Wardlow. I wasn't sure about Ricky Starks. Is he still the FTW champion? Even though I know that. Yeah, I was gonna say, even though that really, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean shit. But
Ricky Starks is gonna be my other pick. I don't hate the Keith Lee pick, but I think that Ricky Starks is a guy that's going to absolutely have a mediocre rise in the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, part of me wanted to go with that, but I'm like,
So I went with Keith Lee just because it doesn't say when. It just says for a future TNT title match. So that doesn't mean that they can't put the belt on Wardlow. And AEW has done it before where they said, okay, this person gets a future blah, blah, blah title match, and it happens on a Dynamite.
True.
So I'm not banking on Keith Lee winning the TNT title. I wouldn't put it past AEW to give this win to Keith Lee. but have him face the TNT champ on a Dynamite, lose,
Absolutely.
and then Wardlow wins at the next big event.
You're probably not wrong. I mean, regardless, I think the future title match will happen on a Dynamite, regardless of who wins it. I'm just trying to run down through the list of people. Like, I'm like, okay, like who hasn't Guevara faced already, or who like if he has faced everybody, then who would be a good matchup for him, stylistically clashing and everything like that. I feel like Wardlow's a good one, because he can definitely, I mean, he's got, you know, the big guy size and strength, but he can fucking go.
Oh yeah,
you know, I mean, so I feel like it's going to be that would be a good matchup. I think they would work really well together in the ring. I think it'd be a good quality match.
I agree, and I think Wardlow will wind up being the next TNT champ.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I just going out on a limb. Ooh.
okay.
I like it. Women's title. Britt Baker, DMD versus Thunder Rosa. I am picking Thunder Rosa to walk out with the title for 6 points. Poot.
I am picking Thunder Rosa for 5.
Ransom.
Have I used my 9 point yet?
No.
I haven't kept track, so I'll be asking. I'm gonna go with Thunder Rosa for 9.
Tom.
Oh boy. Man, I'm really struggling with this one, because I'm thinking, like, if not Thunder Rosa, then who? Realistically,
Right?
Britt's had it for a while, but this could really be a good feather in Thunder Rosa's cap, and I feel like it would mean a lot because they've had such a good rivalry already. Oh, fuck. All right, Thunder Rosa for 6.
Right on. In a dog collar match, we feature CM Punk versus MJF. After some dynamic storytelling between the two the last couple of weeks, I think we're going to see really fucking just a spectacle, honestly. Pootsky, you have the numbers 11 and 2 to assign to this match. Pick your poison.
One more time. What do we got? What do we got?
You got
Punk
11 and
versus-
2.
Punk versus MJF, you have 11 and 2 points up for grab.
Oh, my God, 11 for MJF. Good God.
Ransom,
11 for MJF. All the way.
Okay. Ransom, you have 1 and 11.
You know, I would have said MJF would have been a slam dunk, but last week, Beef, you made a lot of good arguments for where it could go to Punk. So I'm pretty torn on this one. No, do they each have a win over each other?
No. MJF has beaten Punk twice. Well, once,
Oh.
but he keeps claiming twice. They've only faced off once, and MJF beat him in Chicago, but he beat him twice in the match, allegedly.
Okay. Oh boy, I don't know. I don't have a reason. I don't have a rhyme. I'm just gonna say CM Punk for 1.
Tiger Bomb Tom, you have
2 and 3.
Yep.
I've been keeping track of my own. Just not everybody's, because that's the scribe's job. So I'm gonna say I'm also gonna go with CM Punk. I guess I'll do 2.
I am picking CM Punk for 9 as well. I mean, it was, as expected last night on Dynamite. MJF was like, just kidding. Kicked CM Punk in the dick, got him bloodied, put the dog collar on him, got his face.
But when he did the dick kick to Punk, you heard a pop. You didn't hear boos. You heard a pop. People want MJF to fucking keep doing MJF things. they would be remiss if they didn't pull the trigger on that shit.
But doesn't that mean though that MJF's not doing a good job? Because it's his whole fucking
In the WWE thing, but then as he went along and he kept doing more grotesque things to Punk, then it kind of turned into booze a little bit. But like, you know,
I loved having the picture of him and Punk as like the shirt, and then smearing the blood from Punk on his own shirt. That was a pretty dynamic moment, if I do say so myself. Finally, gentlemen.
Poor Beef. I feel bad for him. I sympathize.
The AEW title match: Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole. Poot, you have, I believe, the number 2 here, regardless of who you're picking.
Yep.
Nope, you're not up. You're not up. It's Ransom. Ransom, who you picking?
It's
you
Ransom.
have the number 11. This is 11
Yes,
points.
Ransom.
Yes, Ransom. I have 11. Typical Ransom fashion, and also because of some poignant arguments that Beef made last week. I do love me some Red Dragon and Adam Cole draped in gold. So we're going with Adam Cole for 11 points.
Tom?
Adam Cole.
Wow.
And for 3 points, okay?
Yeah, I only have 3 points on it, so I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I am taking Adam Page for 8 points.
Nice.
Whew.
and as you listen, you guys know I rip the gimmick off, and I love Adam Cole. He's become literally one of my favorite wrestlers of all times, but I'm gonna have to go Adam Page for 2 on this one, baby.
Don't get me wrong, I'm rooting for Cole all the way.
Same.
But I feel like they have in their mind a set time frame for Hangman or a set opponent, and it may be Kenny Omega, honestly. But like regardless, I think that they have, TK has in his mind, all right, we want Hangman to be the face of the Revolution, which is fine. He's a great champion. I don't mind Adam Page at all. But man, I would just love to see Adam Cole with that title, and I'd love to see the fucking
even if he only has it for a spell.
And I'd love to see the fucking ratings pop so that he can fucking take a picture of the title and his fucking dick and send it to Vince McMahon and be like, "Fuck you, man."
So I'm thinking that Cole winning and Red Dragon winning kind of starts to. You said that the Elite was kind of like in a weird, like little nebulous sort of thing. I think this could be the thing that finally like really starts the divide and starts Cole with his faction. And then you get like whatever their faction I can't remember. Didn't they come up with a name or they were trademarking something a while back?
They did trademark something.
I can't remember what it was called.
Did.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. I want to say it started with a P. I can't remember what the fuck it was though.
Not the premiere, not premiere. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what?
Paragon.
You know what? The Paragon.
Yeah,
the Paragon. That's
Paragon.
right. You know what, Beef?
Yeah.
I'm gonna before everything's locked in, I'm gonna switch to Adam Cole for 2. It's only 2 points. Adam Cole, baby. Everyone's draped in gold. Fuck it. Let's do it.
I'm along the same lines of thinking as Tom, that this starts the divide with Red Dragon winning and Adam Cole winning. When Kenny Omega comes back, it's going to be Kenny Omega and the Bucks will then feud with Cole and Red Dragon, and who knows who ends up with the tag titles. And I'm banking on an Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega feud because I'm all over that.
Oh, even better, real fantasy booking is that starts that little like turf war thing between Paragon and the Elite, and then the Bucks turn on Kenny, join the Paragon, and then we get a face Kenny after his long heel run that he's had.
Now we're getting crazy fantasy booking.
Now we're getting crazy here.
Goodness.
Boobly boobly.
Yeah, man. I'm here for all of it. I absolutely would love to see Adam Cole win. I just don't think it's his time just yet. I think he'll have his shot to be the guy in AEW, but I think it's going to be maybe another year or so out. Because honestly, we still got to get MJF time, and like that's got to be coming sooner than later. I'm thinking maybe even Double or Nothing.
Think Adam Cole
MJF.
versus MJF though.
Yeah, but MJF, I think if anything, like I mean, MJF absolutely could carry the AEW title, but if Ward, like Ransom was saying, Wardlow, he thinks he'll be the next TNT champion. If not Wardlow, then I think MJF could be the next TNT champion. I think he could have a very long reign with that.
I completely ruled him out of that TNT championship.
I mean, I don't want to dismiss the TNT championship, but I mean, I know, with all the, it's this title isn't any less than this title. Well, that's why you have a world title and then you have other titles. Like,
I mean, one title has your company's logo on it. The other titles have a television station logo on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hear what Tony Khan is saying, but 100% the TNT title is beneath MJF. It's definitely world championship or bust this year for MJF. I absolutely think it's going to be the summer of MJF. I think he takes it from Page at Double or Nothing, and then like we just get like the fucking smarmy heel summer where he defends it only when he's ordered to, and like Wardlow gets interfering in it, and eventually it leads to a Wardlow MJF fallout down the line. They've been pretty good about pushing it and like keeping it on the back burner. But like I just feel like that time is absolutely right now for MJF to get it, and that's why I picked him against Punk in the or that's why I think that him losing against Punk rather won't hurt him too badly.
Well, it's not about him getting hurt too badly by losing to Punk, because anyone losing to Punk won't take any shine off them. But the thing is, I think it would be, and if it was literally any other organization, whether it be WWE or Impact or whoever, I probably would have gone the other direction and said CM Punk. But I think they're creative enough, and I think Punk, and that works the opposite direction. Just as MJF won't lose any shine losing to CM Punk, Punk will not lose any shine losing to MJF. Especially with MJF playing so many mind games and always getting one up on Punk. If he gets that one last up on Punk, that would throw him, no matter who has the AEW title, that would give him the credence and the ability and the like kind of pedigree to then challenge for the title and have it not just be, oh, here's snotty, blue blood kid MJF. Now it's MJF who beat CM Punk. Now it's MJF who can back his shit up. You know what I mean?
I think something else too, to a point that Beef said about the.
Also, I'm going to the bathroom store.
About the TNT title being kind of beneath MJF. Well, I don't disagree with that. I think though that if that's the direction they went and they put that title on MJF, I think much like how Kevin Owens, well, maybe not even. Well, Kevin Owens and we'll say even like how John Cena did for the US title, like brought it into like real relevance again and stuff like that. I feel like MJF could do something like that to the TNT championship and really try to sell that point of Tony Khan saying like, oh, not one title doesn't necessarily, it isn't necessarily beneath another. I feel like MJF would really, like, with his character too, it makes it believable that he would, whatever he touches is the best. It doesn't matter if it's the world title or if it's the TNT title or whatever. The diamond ring, he's with that, he's made it a point to. It's always come back in relevance with him, and he's always made a point to make it, mean something. So
I agree. No, you're 100% correct. I just think that.
But yeah, I'm with you on it. Like I would, me personally, I would put MJF in that main, like upper main event. I would absolutely, put the world title on him before I would put the TNT championship. But you never know. It's maybe they got something cooking.
He just already
fear,
seems beef really quick. He just already seems above it.
Yeah, no,
there's very few stars in AEW that we could say that with, but
right.
He already seems above that.
My fear is that we sit here and we talk about MJF being the future, and the future never materializes. And I get it. Like, it's kind of like a spurn lover. Like WWE has done this to me. I have a complex now where we keep talking about the next biggest and baddest. And, oh man, wait till Keith Lee hits the main roster. And wait till Karrion Kross hits the main roster. Wait till Samoa Joe. Wait till Finn Balor. Wait till fucking Bo Dallas. Blah, 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 blah. And tomorrow never comes.
Yep.
So I'm just fearful that, and I get it 100%. MJF take the big fight feel no matter what he does, whether he's feuding with Darby Allin and Sting, whether he's feuding with Punk, or whether he's feuding for a world title. Yes, he absolutely demands the main event spotlight no matter what he's doing. But I think that they actually have to pull the trigger and deliver and show him the love that he is, in fact, one of the best, if not the best heel in wrestling today.
Agreed.
Hey, you fuckers want to try a Stump the Champs?
Come on, Pat. Let's see what you got.
Let's go for it, Pat.
Let's see if we can get through this without me going real body. So here's the question.
Tomi Arigato.
What little-known title was created in January of 1991, gone by July of the same year, and only had one title reign?
It's in WCW, and it's some sort of women's TV title or women's light heavyweight title. I'm almost positive of this.
Interesting. Care to cite your sources, or you just
I remember. Fuck! I'm trying to remember what it was that I was watching before. I feel like we talked about this at one point way back when we were talking about women's title matches, or we were talking about something with the women's wrestling. And no, you know what it was? It was whenever you and I had our fucking collar elbow tie up, and I had said something about me making my point about why WCW or whatever the case was, the argument. I think that it was like DX versus NWO sort of thing or whatever, and one of my things was mismanagement of talent, and I'd said about how WCW didn't do a good job representing their women's division. Actually might have been a women's title, because there really wasn't a WCW women's title at all, was there?
No.
So I think it's that.
What was the time frame again?
91 to 92?
Nope, not even. January 91 to July of 91.
Well, there you go.
One title reign. In Fedland, that's WrestleMania time frame, basically, the road to and beyond. And 91 would have been the year before Flair won the Rumble, which means it would have been a Hogan year, which was 90 or WrestleMania 6, which was the Ultimate Challenge.
Wasn't there a WCW 6-man tag team championship at one point?
Oh,
Yes, there was.
that might be
Because Tom brought up that, and I thought there was a women's heavyweight belt and or a women's championship belt, and then they did like something equivalent of the Intercontinental belt, and I went, yeah, Tom's right. And then just recently, because, and this kind of pairs back to the AEW thing, if you look at it right now, how many 3-man groups are they building right now? Think about it. The House of Black. There's Adam Cole, Ed Red Dragon, or Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. There's the Jurassic Express. There's the whole Best Friends contingency.
Well, let's be fair. With Jurassic Express, it's 2.5. Come on.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I think Christian. No,
Christian
Cage
Cage.
has pretty much taken Marco Stunt.
has he?
Where the hell is Marco Stunt, by the way? Not that I'm like biggest Marco Stunt fan in the world, but
Same place Joey Janela is. Although Joey Janela beat the fuck out of a fan at the last GCW event, so
Joey Janela
maybe at home for a while.
Joey Janela needs to get his shit together. Like he needs to because he could be such a big star. Is he the best looking guy? No, but he has a lot of talent. But my point was, I've been thinking a lot about the whole 6-man tag championship thing because I think AEW could do it well. And then I remember it was in one of our other podcasts, like Tom said, it was in one of our other podcasts. We mentioned that there have been numerous times over the years where wrestling companies have done a 6-man tag team championship, or a 3-man team.
Was this reign the Dangerous Alliance reign?
The Dangerous Alliance reign?
Was Paulie in WCW?
That was early 90s, wasn't it?
Well, Rick Rude
Because
was there, so
they had a belt. Didn't they have a title that wasn't around for very long, and they held it briefly? I don't remember.
What was the time frame again? I'm trying to.
1991.
Yeah, 1991.
January 91 to July of 91.
And he didn't.
January 91.
Yeah, and he didn't specify a company. He just said what little known title.
Right. I don't believe it was WWF, because if it was WWF, I think it would have been featured at WrestleMania 6, and there's no other title featured other than the world title, because the other world has the Intercontinental title.
And it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been a weird. I'm assuming he's not talking about a variation, like a custom title, because wasn't there? There was a weird variation of the world heavyweight title that Hogan had at one point during one of his reigns, and I can't remember when.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was before this one. It was.
Yeah. So, but for some reason, I want to say it's in WCW. Poop might be right on the 6-man tag titles. Just, I
just don't see any other title other than, like Tom mentioned, a women's title. Other than that, I don't remember another title. Now, I don't know WCW as well as Ransom did, or not even does. I just remember them trying that. They've tried a couple weird belts over that time. They tried, what was another weird one that they tried? Not a
WCW. They had a United States Tag Team Championship belt.
Yeah, there was that too. But I really think it was because that stuck around at least for a couple months, as I recall. Did it not?
It did.
I was wrong, by the way. WrestleMania 6 was on 90. WrestleMania 7 was 91, which was super unremarkable. Nothing special about that fucking pay-per-view. So
you've been going through and watching all the Manias. I
have.
So which one was 7?
That was Hogan Slaughter.
Okay. Because Slaughter was now the Iraqi sympathist or whatever.
Yep. Yep,
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think Demolition faced
The weird thing
LOD?
is,
I don't remember. Anyway,
the weird thing is they
regardless.
herald that as like this whole big ridiculous thing, and it just doesn't hold water. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh man, Ransom, you've been quiet for too long. What are you thinking?
I mean, I feel like I'm on the same line as Poot. I don't know if the time frame lines up though. The 6-man or the 3-man tag belts, they were around for a cup of coffee. I can't remember if WCW had a women's tag belt at any time.
I don't think they had a women's tag, but like I said, I know that in the main when we think of WCW in its mainstay, like NWO style, like that whole era, they never had a women's title at all.
They didn't have
Correct.
any women's wrestlers. They
Right.
they had managers, but no women wrestlers.
Right. So that's why.
And the Nitro girls.
That's why I said I think it's that initially my gut instinct told me the women's title, because I feel like I'm trying to remember who defended it. I feel like it was defended in some sort of tournament. It wasn't necessarily within WCW itself. Like it was like kind of almost like how the Intercontinental title that Pat Patterson won it in like a tournament in Brazil or whatever. I feel like this was something similar.
That could have even been like an NWA women's title, honestly.
Yeah, but I feel like it. Yeah, but I feel like it was. They called it the WCW Women's Title, and then maybe they just dissolved it and left it to NWA or who know, or just sunk into the ether. But I would say it's either the WCW Women's title or
Was WCW even around at this time? Like, was this still NWA?
Oh no 91 and 92.
No,
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
WCW was around.
Yeah, they were around.
ECW, I don't think was.
That may have just been Eastern Championship Wrestling at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think NWA was still a thing too. But I don't know Jack Poo about NWA, especially way back then.
I feel like 91 and 92. Yeah, WCW was definitely around because I remember.
It was.
Yeah, because I remember watching like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in WCW back then.
Yeah,
So-
it was definitely around because Flair came back to WWF.
Oh yeah, from
Right.
in
right,
92, and he
with
was
the
in
real
WCW
world
before
champion.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So look,
Right.
other than Poot's suggestion, the only other thing that I can think of was a WWE title belt, and I, for the life of me, don't think I ever saw it defended because it was such a short time, and I don't really watch a lot of stuff from WWF in that time frame, but I could have swore I remember hearing something about it at some point. Was there a WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship?
I don't
Because
remember.
I feel like that would have been around a whole lot shorter.
I don't
just
remember
because-
that personally.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I never saw it. I don't know what it looks like. If it exists, I never saw who defended it or who won it. Because again, I don't go back and watch that. But when Tom was talking about Pat Patterson and the Intercontinental Championship, I could have swore at some point, and I don't know if we talked about it, if it was one of those random Bruce Pritchard podcasts that I listened to, and they brought it up then, but I could have swore I remember somebody mentioning at some point a WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship.
And that wouldn't shock me, but again, in my head, especially if the title was brand spanking new, I would think that it would be on display at WrestleMania in a match, like not in like the main event or anything.
Unless they, well, I mean, if it was a title belt that flopped considerably, it might not have, because
Yeah, but
WrestleMania
was like,
I know Poot it was right.
No,
There was a 3-man tag belt in WCW for a cup of coffee, but I feel like the dates don't. Oh, my back! I feel like the dates don't line up.
Ransom.
Well-
Hold on. I think you're right, Ransom, but I think I swear, now that you're talking about it, I think there was such a Intercontinental Tag Team Championship, but I don't think it was in the 90s. I think it was earlier on in the 80s and stuff. Because I want to say there was something involved with New Japan back then or something. I want to say there was some involvement with that, and I don't think it was this time frame, but I think you are onto something though with that. But I want to say it was I want to say it was earlier than the 90s, so I don't think it's that.
I feel like that's it though. That's my gut feeling. I'll go with the group consensus. My pick would be the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championships. I just don't think that the 3-man championships in WCW lined up with those dates.
Okay,
but that's
but
just
what
me. Whatever you guys want to go with.
What about Tom's idea of the WCW Women's title?
I really think listen. If I'm wrong about this, Pat can have my spot for the recording. But
I don't think it was that, because I think the WCW Women's title was still around when Medusa jumped ship.
No.
That was on a Nitro when she dumped the WWE Women's title in the garbage. I think the WCW Women's Championship was still around at that point.
I don't think it was, though. I really don't.
I don't think it's that. I don't think their Women's Championship had that short of a run.
I don't think that it's something with WWF at the time, because they didn't really play that hard and fast. There was a lot bigger focus on, I mean, really the only belts back then were the heavyweight belt, the Intercontinental belt, and the tag belts. I mean, really, if you were, and not trying to minimize anyone or anything, it's just that's what it was in the Feds. So like, that's why I'm not leaning towards that.
So here, I don't want to belabor this, but I mean, I think Ransom is right about the women's title. No, I'm not saying Tom might be onto something that might be like a women's secondary title, but like, why would WCW actively go after Medusa, Alundra Blaze, if they didn't have a women's division or women's title? Like, and I get it, like, just to spite WWE. Like, I understand that's probably an answer too. But realistically, they had to have something to bring her into, or at least to entice her and go, oh yeah, I can go there and do this for that. So I think that there was something probably established. We just don't know, because women's wrestling was so spotty back then. So oh man.
So wait, Beef.
Yes.
I think you're onto something there. I think they tried to. Okay, I think you're right on something. I think it was a secondary women's title. I think it was called the WCW Women's Light Heavyweight Championship, because I think they defunct that, and then when they brought in Medusa, that was them trying to revitalize the women's division.
Women's light heavyweight championship.
Women's light heavyweight championship. Yes, because I remember now that. Yep, I'm almost 100% positive on that. Again, if I'm wrong, Pat can have my spot for the recording, but I'm
Tom seems like he's channeling his inner Ransom here.
Yeah,
he's pretty damn certain here.
Because that was one of the points that I remember bringing that up about the lack of a women's division and stuff like that. And I remember talking about that, arguing that point with you whenever we had our point counterpoint stuff or whatever. Yeah, I'm almost positive. Oh God. I mean, I hope I'm right, but I don't know. If it's not that, then it's got to be the 6-man tag or 3-man tag title belt. So I'm torn between those two.
I mean, was the time for that for like light heavyweight stuff that early in the 90s though? Like that seems like a late 90s thing.
don't misunderstand that to mean cruiserweight.
No.
Let's remember that before the whole cruiserweight fad started. Boxing had always differentiated it by weight classes. So WCW may have tried to be doing something similar.
Yeah, but the key word in that statement is may have. Like that's kind of my point. I'm not trying to be a negative Nick here.
I don't. I 100% do not believe it's a WWF title because
absolutely.
Even if it was a flop, they would not have admitted until later on in the summer. I think at that point, especially if it just started in January, April 1st is only 3 months later, which is right around when Mania is. That would have been like Vince McMahon mandatory, hey, push this title in everyone's faces. We want to sell more like replicas, or we want to get this person. 100%. If this was a WWF title that existed, it would have been on WrestleMania 7. And I can tell you with reasonable certainty, and I don't like sit here and just like watch WrestleMania. I do other things. I play video games. I'm on my phone, whatever. I don't just sit here and fucking like view it. But I can say with reasonable certainty that it was not a WWF title. So I do believe that it would have been something that WCW had done at the time, unless Pat's pulling something out of the woodwork that none of us know about, which is possible. But he plays it pretty straight. So I think that this is 100% from WCW. So and Tom knows his WCW well enough, especially because he said, he basically did his research when he did the collar and elbow tie up with me. I don't know. Ransom, do you watch a lot of WCW from this time frame?
Not very much. No, mine was usually mid 90s forward.
Right.
I've watched a few things here and there, like the old stuff, like with Sting and Flair and Steamboat.
Mm-hmm.
Like old like Blade Runner Sting, but
yeah,
I don't go back
that they would have come up, right?
Yeah, I don't go back and watch a lot of like old WCW pay-per-views religiously from that time frame. No.
So at the end of the day, I think we all have to admit that this is something in our periphery, in our collective blind spot. But because it's resonating so heavily with Tom, because I remember the last time someone was so vehement about this, and that was that question about ECW with the tag team titles, and Pete was like, "No, I know for a fact it is blank and blank, and I don't think we went with them, and we were wrong, and he was right." So I am going to follow Tom's gut, and I'm going to vote for the women's light heavyweight title in WCW.
I'll go with the consensus, but I just think the time frame is too early for something like a light heavyweight. I know you're referencing boxing and everything, but that's kind of where I'm at. I just think, like I said, I will go with consensus on this one.
Ransom?
Majority rules, but I'm sticking with my initial thought. I can't override everybody, but I'm sticking with my initial thought that it was the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team titles. But everybody's very against it being a WWE title. So if majority rules, majority rules. I accept that.
So, but you don't have any base as to who would be the champions? Like who are the people who are holding?
Okay. No idea. No idea.
Nor do I.
Right, yeah.
He wasn't asking for names, right? Just the title.
No, yeah. Yep.
I mean, think about like the reason I say is like think about the time frame. Think about you're coming off the heels of basically the territories getting destroyed, right?
So, but what else would you call a secondary women's title though?
Well, I was arguing on my point, but. That like I said, honestly, like I'm gonna leave it up to you guys because I threw mine out. That's the only thing I could really think about.
About the 6-man.
Yeah, the 6-man.
So I feel like the Dangerous Alliance held the 6-man titles, and they weren't around until like 93, 94, maybe even 95 ish.
I don't know if they held that title or if they just kind of utilized the Freebird rule within WCW and allowed them to defend whoever they wanted to within the Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think you might be right on that because I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying this. Like, if it were, July to November, I'd say 100% it could be the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team titles. But with it being like smack dab in the middle of WrestleMania season, like I just can't picture them saying that this is a failure 3 months in without giving a shot to shine at WrestleMania. And I am, if nothing else, I'm a WrestleMania historian. I won't claim to know everything about wrestling, but I'll claim to know an awful lot about WrestleManias.
Awful lot.
An awful lot. So,
An awful falafel.
Well, I mean, if you and Tom were voting for that one, Poot voting for his, Ransom's voting for his, you two have the majority.
All right, here we go then. He says, I'll be shocked if you get this one, but I wish you the best of luck. The title in question was a joint venture with UWF Japan, where the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Champ, motherfucker. Damn it.
Okay.
Damn it, Ransom. Motherfucker. Damn
Are you
Ransom.
fucking kidding me?
Okay, hold on.
Let me read the whole thing. So the title in question was through a joint venture with UWF Japan, where the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship was created and then removed due to WWF cutting off ties with UWF Japan. Son of a bitch.
That had to have been on a Bruce Pritchard episode that I listened to where I pulled that from, because we never talked about whatever
UWF
promotion that was.
Hold on a second. I have some umbrage with this. We're saying it's the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship, correct? And he's saying it was created in 91?
Yes, January 91 to July of 91.
Nope.
Somebody fact check.
Somebody go to the Google machine.
I'm already fact checking because I WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship years, May 24th, 1985 to October 31st, 1985. It was originally the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championship from June 1st, 1969 to 1972. So they had it. Then in May 24th, 1985, IWGP and WWF Championship Series. And then it was deactivated on October 31st, 1985. So where the fuck he's pulling this out from, I won his source.
Googling.
I'm good. Yeah.
Google machine. Let's see.
We're gonna do the Google machines, and then we'll come back with the recording at the appropriate time. So, due to the P3 podcast part of the P3 podcast not being able to read,
That's me.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, Tom. I'm joking. We did some fact checking, and I'll tell you what, Beef, lay it on him.
Oh no, my internet's cutting out. Sorry, Pat.
That came through clear as a bell, though.
Yeah, it did.
No, Pat, you got us. I mean, you didn't get us, but you got us because Captain.
You got 3 out of the 4 of us.
No, he got 2 of us. Poot was off in Pootland.
I was not off in Pootland.
I was so sure of myself, and then whenever I fucking went to fact check this after the fact, apparently my computer autofilled international, and I read it as intercontinental. So fuck me. Congratulations,
hey,
Pat.
You know what? Sometimes
you have my spot.
Sometimes it happens.
Congratulations, you have stumped the champs. You get everything.
Oh.
The world is yours.
Poot wasn't far off.
I wasn't?
I'm looking up the WCW World 6-Man Tag Team Championship. and that was in existence between February of 91 and October of 91.
Shit.
So Poot was very close on the dates.
I was in the same sport. I was just in the wrong arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was very close.
He's like, oh, wait a minute. It's an away game this day. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
here's
fuck.
This. Here's this too. WCW attempted to create a new women's division in 1991. Later in the year, the former United States champions, blah 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 blah. So by the end of the year, all female wrestlers departed the organization except Medusa, who was retained as a valet. So there was some credence in Tom's thought too. In '91, there
Yeah.
was a push for women's titles. It just looks like nothing actually happened with it. Bottom line
There
is,
was a lot of flubs in 91, a lot of whiffs, and a lot
Yeah.
of belt deactivations in 91. 91 was like a fucking year.
Well,
Yeah, man.
it was a transitional time. Like, it was just a time of like rediscovery, because I mean, think about it. It was all territories, and during those couple years, you know, plus or minus off 91, wrestling was kind of refinding its legs in the current, you know, climate.
Yeah, you're right.
but Pat, we will be welcoming you with open arms. You call your shot, brother, whenever you'd like to come back on. And unfortunately, that means that we are now once again the chumps.
Jumping it up.
Are we the chumps again? Well, you know what? Why don't we drown our sorrows in a burrito, boys?
Let's do
Welcome to Moe's, motherfucker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to P3 Podcast. We want to thank Casual Gaming Dad, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom, and his page over on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. That's Casual Gaming Dad, ladies and gentlemen. He plays a lot of fun games, does a lot of fun streams, and does a lot of neat things. He also has a lot of neat merch over in his store. That is at gouldgaming.com, gouldgaming.com/Casual Gaming Dad, or search on Casual Gaming Dad if you just go to gouldgaming.com. You can find a lot of really seriously kick-ass merchandise, very high quality, and also you can get your very own P3 Podcast t-shirt. Order one. It's not $49.99, you idiots. You can afford it. You can afford a t-shirt. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's right. Enjoy it. We also want to thank our very own local madman, Mr. Alec Ransom. That's right. I used your full name. Mr. Ransom, the madman over here in his channel, Frig Off Ransom. He's absolutely hilarious and a delightful boy, if I may say. And also, I want to give a shout out to Beef posting on the Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast YouTube channel and giving his reviews and stuff like that there. Giving Beef raw over there. I hope we see more of those. It'd be fantastic. I love hearing Beef talk about wrestling because he knows more about wrestling than a lot of folks that I know. We also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with independent wrestling in central Pennsylvania and western Pennsylvania area. Sean, thank you very much. And go out and support your local indies, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way to do it. Pat, we're looking forward, seriously, joking aside, we're looking forward to having you on the podcast. Always a good time. Always cool to have someone else's say on it. And if you want to get on the podcast, Beef, tell them how they can do that.
You just need to stump the chumps like Pat just did by sending us 2 emails to the address of pittsburghpiledriverpodcast@gmail.com. 2 emails, one with the question, one with the answer. Make sure in the answer email to put some sentences before the answer, otherwise I will see it in the preview window and you will be disqualified. Also, if you're looking to get in with us for the Cruiserweight Championship Mega March card, you can do that at that web email address as well. You can reply to the Facebook page, and I'm sure that I'll make it the very last minute, or you can also message the page with your picks. So, gentlemen, we have been beaten by Pat, Stump the Chumps. We've been beaten by Dave for the Cruiserweight title. Right now, things are pretty low for the old P3.
Yep.
Bounce back.
That's
Bounce
okay.
back.
That's what you do, man. That's how you build stars. You have them achieve You have them achieve something. You knock them off the mountain. They got to climb back up, man.
I was gonna say we're getting beat all around. Agent Smith is beating the shit out of Beef in the Matrix. I mean, like fucking bad times. But you know what? Just remember, there is no spoon.
Only Zool. Anyway, thank you all very much for listening to the P3 podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, baby. That has been Tiger Bomb Tom. That has been Ransom the Madman. And that has been our wrestling encyclopedia, Mr. Beef the Legend. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go take some NyQuil and go the F to bed.
Get out.